James Comey, John Bolton, Letitia James were all recently indicted. There's a pattern to these names. They're all public figures who have publicly denounced you. Why did you pardon him?
Okay, are you ready? I don't know who he is.
More recently, Americans have been watching videos of ICE tackling a young mother, tear gas being used in a Chicago residential neighborhood, and the smashing of car windows. Have some of these raids gone too far?
No, I think they haven't gone far enough.
I have a few clips lined up for us of Donald Trump on 60 Minutes as he's bumbling his old delusional self through another interview in a rather humiliating fashion. If you can, take a moment, leave us a like on the video. We're trying to get to 30,000 subscribers. That helps us in a big way. And let's just hop right in with some much needed fact check.
James Comey, John Bolton, Letitia James were all recently indicted. There's a pattern to these names. They're all public figures who have publicly denounced you. Is it political retribution?
You know what? You know who got indicted? The man you're looking at. I got indicted, and I was innocent. And here I am because I was able to beat all of the nonsense that was thrown at me. And yet, when you go after a dirty cop like Comey, or a guy like Bolton, who I hear has, I don't know anything about it, I hear he took records all over the place, who knows? Letitia James is a terrible, dishonest person, in my opinion.
Did you instruct the Department of Justice to go after them?
Not in any way, shape, or form. No, you don't have to instruct them because they were so dirty, they were so crooked, they were so corrupt that the honest people we have, Pam Bondi's doing a very good job.
Yeah, guys, except we have the Truth Social post that we now know was meant to be private to Pam Bondi, directing her to go after these exact people who were then indicted just days later. We know for Letitia James, her niece had a testimony that exonerates her completely. They then switched grand juries and prevented her niece from testifying to the new ones so they could secure the indictment. We know a prosecutor was fired and replaced with a loyalist because the first prosecutor said there was not evidence to bring these to trial for indictment. And with other charges as well. Meanwhile, none of this happened for Trump's charges. Like, there was no public direction from Biden, no connection anyone could draw from Biden to the DOJ and the prosecutors charging Trump, no shady business like changing grand juries and venues or withholding testimony. And he was found guilty or liable on every charge that made it to court unanimously. Sadly for these clowns, Trump's political weaponization he's doing right now has provided the final nail in the coffin in the conspiracy that Trump was ever a victim of something similar.
He pled guilty in 2023 to violating anti-money laundering laws.
Right.
The government at the time said that CZ had caused significant harm to U.S. national security, essentially by allowing terrorist groups like Hamas to move millions of dollars around. Why did you pardon him?
Okay, are you ready? I don't know who he is. I know he got a 4-month sentence or something like that, and I heard it was a Biden witch hunt.
In 2025, his crypto exchange Binance helped facilitate a $2 billion purchase of World Liberty Financial's stablecoin. And then you pardoned CZ. How do you address the appearance of pay for play?
Well, here's the thing. I know nothing about it because I'm too busy doing the other.
So let's zoom out a second to clarify where we are. MAGA for months has been saying that Joe Biden had dementia and his handlers were doing everything for him while he had no clue, and that's unforgivable from the Democrats. You know, how could we do this with someone who has no idea what's going on? His pardons are all signed in AutoPen and he doesn't know about any of them and they're all void. So, you know, Trump can go after more of his political enemies. This is all, by the way, without evidence, right? They're just using conjecture that they've made up to vindicate their own failed debunked conspiracies. But nonetheless, here is Trump publicly saying, yeah, I have no idea who this guy is as I pardon. Trump's also the president who has his executive orders explained to him as they're brought out. And he's coincidentally pardoning people who enriched his whole family, by the way. But that's another point. But he's saying, I have no idea about any of this or anything, yet not a peep from MAGA. Like, where is the vitriol? It's almost like they're hypocrites, right? We covered earlier Mike Johnson saying, oh, I have nothing to say about that, who just did a press conference last week hitting at Biden for that, who's been out of office for 10 months. They're all hypocrites, the lot of them.
More recently, Americans have been watching videos of ICE tackling a young mother, tear gas being used in a Chicago residential neighborhood, and the smashing of car windows. Have some of these raids gone too far?
No, I think they haven't gone far enough because we've been held back by the judges, by the liberal judges that were put in by Biden and by Obama.
You're okay with those tactics?
Yeah, because you have to get the people out. You know, you have to look at the people. Many of them are murderers. Many of them are people that were thrown out of their countries because they were, criminals.
This has no bearing on reality. Over 70% of those that ICE has been detaining have absolutely no criminal record. Another chunk after that only have minor traffic violations or immigration violations. They're storming schools, hospitals, churches, workplaces, and even courtrooms to find these people. The idea that it's violent criminals that warrant these militarized attacks are just racist fantasy, honestly. We have the ICE agent who pointed a gun in a citizen's face and said, "Bang, bang, you're dead, liberal." We have multiple veterans getting harassed. We have numerous citizens, children getting zip tied. We just have to reconcile with the fact that ultimately MAGA will always justify this to themselves because they're comfortable with it at the end of the day. For one reason or the other, this is what they voted for, right? These are the results they wanted. It's MAGA's America. No matter how much they might pretend, oh, well, this thing I don't entirely disagree with, or this thing, they'll never have the same vitriol that they had for any of the things that they would have liked comparatively to Democrats or Joe Biden, because to them it's worth it for the rich guy tax cuts or destroying woke or, trans and getting the trans out of sports or whatever the justification to them might be. The cruelty is a feature. It's not a bug.